Hello and welcome back into another edition of Cardinals Corner. However, I have some bad news if you're listening. You have also been traded from the Arizona Cardinals. Luckily, we still have Arizona Sports Cardinals reporter Tyler Drake here in the flesh, not boots on the ground, to react to 3 trades. I'm Eric Ruby. We're Cardinals Corner. This is an emergency episode because we're usually here after every game, but Tyler, there was no game today. In fact, there was 3 Cardinals trades. I'll list them off, and we're going to get right into reactions.
Do it.
Of course, the big news right off the bat, trading Isaiah Simmons to the Giants for a 2024 7th-round pick. All right, hold on to that. We're going to get into that. Then they traded offensive lineman Josh Jones to the Texans, along with the 7th-round pick for a 5th-round pick. Then, minutes ago, they trade a 5th-round pick to the Browns for their quarterback, Joshua Dobbs. And a 7th-round pick.
Wild.
Okay, let's start from the beginning. We're going to unpack it trade by trade. Isaiah Simmons drops this morning. What's going through your head?
Whoa, my day has drastically changed.
And that was Cardinals Corner. Make sure you...
No, really.
Right,
I mean, I think a lot of people talked about how he could be a surprise cut, which I did not see them doing that. But the fact that they went out and were able to get something for the guy... It's a 7th rounder, but it's still something. I think initially is like, whoa, they really made this trade. They really are moving forward. But at the same time, it's when you see this experiment and what has unfolded throughout the offseason, this just seemed like it was going to happen. And we didn't know exactly how this departure could become something, but after they didn't pick up that 5th-year option, it just seemed like the writing was on the wall that his time in Arizona is limited.
I think trading him for a 7th-round pick goes to show that they were ready to move on. Oh, if you're taking a 7th-round pick for somebody, give it a week, you're cutting them. There's really, there's not a ton of a difference, right? They didn't get anything for DeAndre Hopkins. Monty Ossenfort continues to clear house of people he either doesn't think is bought in, doesn't think fits with the team, or straight up maybe just isn't that good. And preseason performances were tough. Practice performances were tough. Moving positions. A position that he wanted to be at.
That he was the most comfortable in.
That he said
he felt the most free in.
But
he said he didn't want to be a linebacker anymore. But guess what he might be doing? Playing linebacker for the Giants.
There's so many layers of this to unpack. Before I lose my head and go crazy.
I guess that's the other thing. When I saw the news and the report come out, I'm like, oh man, Eric is going to go off today on the emergency pod that wasn't even scheduled yet, but I knew it was going to happen because of all the move, or just because of that first move.
I'm loading right now. I'm building it up. So first, to get to that rant, let's hear what General Manager Monty Ossenfort had to say. First off, he was asked what his thought process was in making this trade.
Yeah, I think, as with any situation, our phones have been, we've talked to a lot of teams about different players, and, a situation presented itself this morning, and just where we are in camp, where we are at the team, we thought it was the right move to make for us, for the team, and just moving forward. We wish Isaiah the best moving forward. He's been here the last 3 seasons, and, wish him the best going forward. But just for us, as a team where we're at, we just thought it was the best move to make.
Best move to make for the team where we're at. I mean, you're in preseason. This guy's an athletic freak who can't find a position. You have to be very out on him to move on. And part of the reason some people think they're ready has been that preseason performance. Do you think that was the nail in the coffin, not running out at basically any play,
getting
but especially
burned
that one play by
times,
Buechele?
Not getting, Buechele, I don't even know what it's how you say his last name.
He should have been tackled. That's the only thing that matters.
He should have been tackled at like the 5-7 yard line. That's the thing, man. I watched that one play, and I think that one play was probably the nail in the coffin, because you are not giving your all on a preseason game. Obviously, it is a preseason game, but you've got to give your all whenever you're between the white lines. I was talking to Lorenzo Alexander on Wolf and Luke the other day. He said it doesn't matter what kind of game it is. It could be a touch football game outside in the backyard. You're going to go hard every play. And seeing that, he looked, he watched, he jogged, and at the last second gave a little burst. But that right there has to be the final nail in the coffin. And Monty, obviously, talking to reporters in Minnesota, said it's more than just one occurrence. It's a culmination of things. So that also stands out to me of like, whoa, what else were they seeing?
Right, because they haven't been around.
Exactly. What else did they see that quick to where it's that kind of trade where it's not, hey, we're going to get a 5th round for him. We just need him off the roster. Because if you think about it that way, that's what it came down to be. We need him off the roster, give us something back. we're good. And as we've seen with this regime, they're fine with just letting you go. DeAndre Hopkins looking at you.
Disclaimer. Please turn your volume down.
Oh, no.
Please.
Oh, no.
So, when I saw this morning that Isaiah Simmons got traded, I thought, what a freaking disappointment. What a disappointment. All that talent, even under a new coaching staff, and you can't try hard enough. You can't put in enough effort in a preseason game when you're playing under 30 snaps to make them not want to get rid of you. You were the number 8 pick less than 5 years ago.
Yep.
You've had an NFL season where you've been productive. You have the benefit of the doubt that the prior coaching staff and regime was not utilizing you well. You handpicked your position, one you said you were better at, and then you flat out refused to try. He didn't want to be here.
No.
He didn't care that it was a new regime.
I think with Hopkins leaving, he was like, I'm good. Because they're so close.
And even Hopkins tweeted about it today. But you know what's crazy to me? Is the fact that you're still just straight up not trying.
Yep.
You come into the preseason, I don't care if you want to be in your position or not. You got something to prove. You had the last season that you had as Isaiah Simmons, and everybody's looking at you saying, why can't you figure it out? Why are you so dang athletic? Why do you look at your athletic score, your combine, your draft position, all of the hype out of Clemson? Why can't you just figure it out? And you might want to put it on the coaching staff. Fine. Cliff Kingsbury didn't know how to use him. Okay. Vance Joseph didn't know how to use him. Okay. Those guys are gone. And by my assessment, by your assessment, by seemingly everybody's assessment, this new coaching staff, this new front office, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
There's not that same level of feeling that you're in a franchise that's held down by an anchor of incompetence anymore.
Yeah.
You can't make it through the first preseason? You can't even play a regular season game as a safety?
Yeah.
Do you know how bad you have to play?
Yeah.
To be a first round top 10 pick recently.
Who played safety at Clemson.
Oh, my blood pressure. It's so frustrating because the potential's there. And you know what? He does have a chance. He's always had a chance.
Always.
This has always been true.
He will always
put
have
it together.
a chance, yeah.
And he might. Let's look at New York for a second, right? I found this quote from defensive coordinator Wink Martindale. I found it almost like full circle perfect for how they plan on using Isaiah Simmons.
We like to, put pressure on the quarterback different ways. Like I've said many a times, pressure breaks pipes. It's one of those things where I say it's a positionless defense. How can we get a free runner to the quarterback? And what it takes is 11 selfless guys out there.
The only word that needs to be focused on from that is he said they have a dang positionless defense. So go crazy, Isaiah. Be positionless. Be who you want to be.
Yeah.
Do something.
But at the same time, I saw a report from Jordan Ronan. I'm probably butchering the last name, but he's a beat reporter for the Giants who said that the plan sounds like he is going to be a linebacker. So
does he know that?
Exactly the position that he specifically said did not want to play anymore. Obviously, we don't know if it's inside, outside.
Well, that's the only position he hasn't really played is outside linebacker.
So you would think maybe they're going to try him out the outside, but at the same time, he specifically said during I think it was August 7th. Word for word, he's like, yeah, I told him I didn't want to be a linebacker anymore. I wanted to be a safety. That's where I'm more free. I played baseball. I played track.
Do you think that's why they knew? How it's like, this isn't just the bad preseason performance. The fact that when they go and talk to Isaiah Simmons, he's like, I don't want to do this.
Instead of saying, I'll do whatever you need.
I'll do whatever you need.
He came in and said, I don't want to do this.
In front of media and saying, yeah, I really didn't want to do that.
Yep.
And, for a second, I was like, okay. He said the coaching staff bought in. They gave him a shot.
Yep.
But, they did give him a shot.
They did.
But they also declined his fifth-year option.
Yep.
So they kind of knew right away, this is a prove-it year for you.
Yep.
You're going to come out and do that in a prove it year? You can get off my roster.
Yep.
You can get out of here.
Good luck.
If I can let DeAndre Hopkins go
exactly
for free,
then that's, yeah.
You can go to New York, and we'll take that 7th round pick, and we'll pair it with Josh Jones, and we'll get a 5th round pick, and then we'll take the 5th round pick, and we'll trade it for a quarterback.
It's wild how all those picks somehow ended up, who knows if it's exactly the picks, but the same round picks going in these different
trades. If you're trading your own 5th round pick and you just acquired somebody else's 5th round pick, you're probably trading your pick because you're comfortable because you have somebody else's.
Yeah.
And if you're watching right now, which you should, go to YouTube, look up Arizona Sports. This podcast, if you're listening on audio, is going to be up on YouTube.
Yep.
You can see Tyler Drake's shirt that I'm not cool enough apparently to get that says Dawn of a New Era.
And it really is today. You can really tell right now. This is the fact of this is a dawn of a new era right now.
Like, this is limited merchandise. I'm not allowed to have it. Only Arizona Sports Cardinals reporter Tyler Drake can have it. And they only gave it to him for today.
I'll put in a good word for you.
Because, thank you, I need it.
Yeah.
3 trades in one day, not only trading the number 8 pick from the 2020 draft.
Yep.
You're going to trade your 3rd round pick, Josh Jones, offensive lineman, who Steve Keim, was so happy when Josh Jones fell to him in the 3rd round, said he had him in his top 30 on the draft board. Oh. And now, fast forward, new regime, new GM, new head coach.
New Texan.
How did you feel about that move before they went and flipped a 5th round pick for a backup quarterback or a quarterback, which we're going to go into in a second?
I thought it was fine. I think they have a lot of depth at the O-line, and Kelvin Beachum is obviously your swing tackle now. But I also think you can move in a guy like Elijah Wilkinson, Dennis Daly. They've got some outside tackle, chops, I should say. So you can move him out there. Dennis Daly, I wouldn't put him on the outside after what we saw last year. But Kelvin Beachum's your solid swing tackle, can play both sides. I thought it was a move to improve draft stock for next year. I thought it was a decent move. If Josh Jones isn't going to play on this team, let him go elsewhere. And obviously, you got to think Houston Texans, Cardinals have their 1st round pick. That's something to keep in mind. But, I mean, if they're going to make a deal and give you a 5th rounder, why not? For a guy that you might not see in your future plans.
I mean, he's also going into the last year of his rookie deal.
Yep.
Much like Isaiah Simmons. He never really found his spot here. But he has started in a couple different positions.
Couldn't do it at guard.
The versatility. Yep. And I felt like offensive line was one of the stronger rooms for this team, especially with Froholt kind of taking that mantle as starting center. Yep. You got 2 rookies who are solid, obviously, Paris Johnson Jr. headlining that, John Gaines behind him.
Yeah.
Like you said, Wilkinson. The room, they had pieces.
Yeah.
Right? And if they just went for a 5th round pick, I know our multimedia producer, Jeremy Schnell, kind of poised this to me before the Dobbs stuff happened. And you said you trade 2 players for a 5th round pick.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of tough when you break it down to that. But once you really start getting in the nitty gritty of, okay, well, why did they trade Isaiah Simmons? Why did they trade Josh Jones?
Yeah.
What are they looking for in the future? And what are they trying to get out of this year? That all makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't really moved that much by him. Like, okay, 5th round pick. Obviously, Monty Ossenfort's confident in himself.
And, I mean, that's a pretty good deal for Josh Jones. Let's be real.
Yeah. Houston definitely desperate for some offensive line help.
They need help.
It's the packaging of the 7th, which is basically exactly what you got for Isaiah Simmons.
But then they got it back.
The 5th.
They got the 5th, but then with the Dobbs, they traded the 5th and got the 7th back. Yeah.
So basically, all in all, with the 3 trades, you're going to be trading Josh Jones, you're going to be trading Isaiah Simmons for Joshua Dobbs and a 7th rounder.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, let's talk about Dobbs for a second. He's coming from the Browns. He was literally just named their backup quarterback, like today.
Familiarity with Drew Petzing.
Exactly.
That's
who used
number
to
one.
be the pass game quarterback, the quarterback's coach, passing game coordinator for the Browns last season.
Quarterback's coach, yep.
And so he also, Dobbs, spent time
in Tennessee
with the Titans with general manager Monty Ossenfort.
Yep.
Now, he's not going to come in and take that starting role. Gambo's even saying apparently Colt McCoy has won that job, or it's looking like it.
Should be.
Tune may be falling off a little bit is why. But honestly, I think Tune's looked better than Colt.
I think they've given him a little more leash.
Yeah.
I think for sure. I think they've let Tune go out there and kind of learn from his mistakes on the fly.
But he has.
But man, that's got to be a little bit of a confidence shot for him. He's coming out. He was one of the best guys. He was one of the top standouts in training camp. Had a couple preseason games, weren't terrible. Obviously things to learn from, but man, seeing another guy come in and really just shoot up the depth chart to number 2, it kind of reminds me of the Marlon Mack situation before he got hurt. I mean, they clearly see a need that they need fixed right away.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to be really interested to see how Toon kind of responds to that moving forward. This last preseason game, let's see what he does. Because I think now he's going to play more.
Yeah. Let me lay something out for you.
Okay.
You would say, I'm assuming, that the first 2 trades are made by a team who's probably not looking to win a lot of games this year. Let's call it tanking. Would you agree with that statement?
Well, Josh Jones, I don't think was going to play very much.
How much was Isaiah Simmons going to play?
I don't know.
But
in that new position,
you're trading players for picks.
Yeah,
you're trading players for
picks. Yes. You have to look at that in that aspect. Yeah, you're definitely looking into 2024. But at the same time, I think you're also. Monty said he wasn't trying to send a message. You better believe.
Yes, he was.
You better believe he was trying that. If he wasn't or not, he sent a message with Isaiah Simmons for sure, and then followed it up with the Josh Jones. Like, if you either don't want to buy in, you're not the right fit, or you just plain want to go somewhere else.
Bye.
See you later. Don't let the door hit you. And that right there was not what we saw in the past regime.
No.
And I mean, here's another thing, man. Steve Keim's first-round picks dropping like flies.
Oh, there's a great article up on ArizonaSports.com, the Arizona Sports app.
Yes.
And
it's a solid one.
It's got a video attached to it as well, Bickley and Murata. It's written by Kevin Zimmerman. It's the grading of Steve Keim's basically decade worth
of picks.
Of top draft picks.
And where they're at now.
You know, I encourage you, go on the app, go on ArizonaSports.com, watch that full thing. We're not going to go through each and every one, but let's just say it's not pretty.
Let's just say Humphreys, Murray, Collins. I think that's it.
That's
it.
That is it.
That's the remaining first rounders of this team right now.
That's it. And Zaven, I mean, talk about if I had to think about it 2 years ago, who I thought we'd be talking about getting traded today and who I thought the Arizona Cardinals would keep, I would have swapped Isaiah Simmons
that
and
whole
Zaven
debacle
Collins.
with the beginning with Jordan Hicks. Yep. Oh, yeah.
So caught up in all of this, it's kind of crazy, right? Like, it's separate. They're separated now.
Yep.
It's always been Zaven Collins and Isaiah Simmons.
The 2 trees in the middle, as Steve Keim said
our first episode
couple years ago.
was Jordan Hicks leaving paves the way for Isaiah Simmons and Zaven Collins. Now they're separate, and you're right.
And they're playing different positions.
Monty said neither are inside linebackers. And Monty said he's not trying to send a message. Like, yes, he is. That's every single move you make as a GM is trying to send a message. There's not a single move you make without an intent and purpose behind it. That's not how it goes. So back to what I was kind of originally laying out, right? Like, so we would generally agree those moves, trading players for picks, is by a team.
You're looking to the future.
Right. Looking towards the future. Okay. All of their trades have basically been doing that. All of their moves.
All of them.
None really with an emphasis on this season.
Except for Dobbs.
Exactly. And so that's my point. Why?
Yeah.
Why trade a 5th rounder if you already have a young quarterback who's seemingly ready to at least get thrown to the fire? Not that we know he'll do good.
Yeah.
But you could probably play Clayton too.
Yeah.
You also have Colt.
When's Kyler coming back?
Kyler coming back, would it have been better?
What does that say?
To just hold on to a 5th round pick.
Nah.
Like what? But again, you're trading Simmons, you're trading Josh Jones, you're getting assets. The draft is obviously Monty Ossenfort's strong suit.
Oh yeah.
Without even seeing them play yet, you know that he likes to do it. He's been trading like crazy. I mean, how many trades is this for a rookie GM?
Oh man, it's got to be close to 8, 9.
Yeah, like I'd say anywhere from like 5 at the lowest to like 10 at the highest.
Yeah,
like somewhere
it's between
in that.
there. Yeah,
and at this point, if the goal's to lose, which the goal is never to lose.
Yeah.
By the players.
The goal for them is to compete.
And lose. To compete and get a high draft pick. And what happens? How does 1 + 1 = 2? 1 has to be in there as well.
Yep.
You want to compete. You always want to compete. You don't want the players to be lost. But you have to be realistic. And that's even what national media is saying. Like, you have to be realistic about all of this. Like, the Cardinals are not looking to win this season. If they do, they won't be mad. But it's not what
that
organization's trying to do.
It could mess up what's in the cards moving forward. No pun intended.
I mean, and again, all of this comes down to what even happens with Kyler Murray. Mm-hmm. How does this team even look a couple weeks in? Who else could get traded? That's a huge other topic.
Yeah.
Zach Ertz. Could you look at somebody midseason like a Kelvin Beachum?
That name popped up. When I saw the Simmons deal, I was like, whoa. That put a radar for Zach Ertz for me now.
Anybody who's part of that old regime, which is a lot of people.
And anybody that they can get something decent. I mean, Zach Ertz, I think you would still get a decent pick for him.
Yeah. I mean, you'd have to think about somebody who really needs him. You have to look at contenders as well.
Yeah.
What are they willing to give up? How much draft capital is Zach Ertz really worth coming off of an ACL injury?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I think you'd have to see what he does on the field first. But then, like you said, Beachum, man, I think Beachum's solidified right now.
I mean, now,
maybe by the trade deadline, depending on injuries.
You get good play from John Gaines. You're able to piecemeal the offensive line, and they're protecting Kyler. Somebody comes calling. Somebody loses an offensive lineman, a contender, and they say, we'll give you
a
third-round pick for Kelvin Beachum. You have to do it.
Yeah.
You have to do it. You have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, I don't think Monty Ossenfort's afraid to do it.
No.
He's not afraid to say bye-bye.
Yeah, see you later, Starbacker.
Yeah. I mean, I have like 80 more minutes of Isaiah Simmons rant left in me.
Oh,
I still got all that in me.
We got about 6 minutes left of this podcast.
Yeah, because Tyler's making this work in between his day-to-day activities. I'm making this work within mine. So is Jeremy Schnell, multimedia producer behind the scenes. This is the emergency podcast, aka we didn't have time scheduled out for this. So let's cover a couple more topics. Not trade related. If you don't feel caught up with the trade stuff, follow Tyler at TDrake for Sports. Go ahead and jump on the Arizona Sports app, arizonasports.com. You can watch, you can read, you can listen about all of this. You will be covered there.
Yep.
What were you about to say?
Browns actually went back and pulled back the move of waiving Kellen Mond after making that deal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because they did that this morning.
Yeah.
They waived Kellen Mond.
I mean, it must have been a boom type deal.
It must have been Monty Ossenfort gets this new toy and this 5th-round pick, goes to Drew Petzing and says,
who do you want?
Could I get your boy Dobbs?
Yeah.
Can I get your boy Dobbs for 5th-round pick? So.
Well, and that's the thing too, man. And just one more time, like Jacoby Brissett, I think all of us thought would be a solid stopgap guy until Kyler came back. I think this is a good constellation of just the dude knows the offense that Drew Petzing wants to run. The familiarity is there. Now it's just, what can you really get out of this guy?
I don't think there's a lot of doubt that he's probably the best quarterback on the roster.
That's healthy.
Well, yeah, but the best quarterback competing to start week 1 right now.
There you go.
But again, he's also new to the system. You're coming at a midpoint of the preseason. You're not here through camp. You're not here through all
at
that.
At an endpoint of preseason.
Exactly. Speaking of, Cardinals up north in Minnesota for a joint practice.
Hot.
Tyler, unable to be there, but still keeping your ear to the ground, figuring out everything that's going on. Maybe give the people a quick minute or two, catch them up on what's been going on up north in Minnesota.
Yeah, it's just, first off, it's been hot. The humidity has been up there. I think the real feel on day 1 at like 11 or so was like 111, even though it was 90 degrees.
That humidity.
Ugh, that's nasty. I know that it's hot here. I'd rather take this heat over that heat any day of the week. And you could tell the guys were sweating. Josh Woods had a funny video. He was walking and social media was trying to see if he would say anything. He's like, no, it's too hot. And he said, I mean, his clothes are sticking to him. Everything's sticking to him. They got full pads on.
They complained about it a lot, though.
Yeah.
You kind of expect football players to be like, it is what it is. But Buddha went out and said our energy was, it's hot. It's a good workout. James Conner was like, it was hot. And I get it. They're humans. Like, I'm not going to be that kind of football guy. But at the same time, like, for lack of a better term, shut up. Like, just, what are you going to do about it? You don't need to be going to the media being like, oh, yeah, it's a hot one. But no excuses. We go out there. We got to do what we got to do. Today we didn't execute. But
flashbacks.
But tomorrow we will, right? Tomorrow we will.
Yeah.
And I don't think the players spoke about it as much today. But that was a little bit
Keitrell Clark.
Keitrell Clark hitting the gritty.
Might have been hitting the gritty a little too soon there. I will say that
First
for
day of
sure.
joint practice, dude.
He one-on-ones against Justin Jefferson.
I loved it.
bats down the ball, gritties afterwards. I think Justin Jefferson got the last laugh, though. Oh, he had a couple good catches, and then today it looked like Jordan Addison had a good touchdown grab over Keytrail. So I think the rookie's getting humbled a little bit. He even said something, I think, afterwards on Twitter or X about how he's got a lot of respect for the wide receivers of the Vikings. So I think it was definitely maybe a growing pains type situation that he's taken that next step to. But outside of that, I think James Conner looked pretty solid from the clips that I saw. And
Dortch has had a good camp.
That was my next one. And then I think John Gaines is getting some first-team reps at center with Froholt sidelined.
Because
with the baby.
And Humphreys both
had a baby on Monday.
On Monday. Correct. Yeah. The chemistry in the offensive line room is fantastic.
Congrats to those guys.
All right. Again, Tyler, you can keep up with stuff on the Arizona Sports app, where you can also read about Commanders wide receiver Terry McLaurin.
Scary Terry.
Not sure if he's going to be playing Week 1 Cardinals-Commanders in Washington.
That would be huge for the Cardinals.
That would be a big break for the Cardinals if they're trying to start off with a win, because the Commanders, they might be the easiest win, because then you're going to play the Giants and Isaiah Simmons.
And then the Niners or the Cowboys. One of the two. I think it's boom.
It's a tough start, kind of like it was last season. We're going to do our full season prediction, win-loss record, all of that. Keep up to date with everything. Follow Tyler on Twitter at TDrake4Sports. That's the number 4 at TDrake4Sports. You can follow myself at Eric Ruby with the K, ERIK. RUBY. Follow the show at AZ Cards Corner. Make sure you follow along all of the incredible content that we are creating here at Arizona Sports, whether that's something for you to watch on YouTube, something for you to listen to on a podcast, or to read. All of that's on the Arizona Sports app. All of that is on arizonasports.com. Make sure you do that. And that app is free, by the way, so that's quite
free,
a deal.
Baby.
So until next time, keep up to date with all of that. And for those Isaiah Simmons haters, it's going to be a lot easier to enjoy football. We'll talk to you guys next time.